The Democratic Women's Council is proud to sponsor an annual scholarship essay contest as a way of encouraging young voters to be informed and thoughtful about issues as they prepare to engage in the democratic process and vote. There are no expectations that students be Democrats, but we do encourage them to address issues from a democratic perspective. Over $34,000 in scholarship money has been awarded by the Democratic Women's Council of Horry County in the 14-year history of the Scholarship Essay Program. Each year we pose a different theme which guides students in writing an essay. Our theme for 2021 was, what is the significance to you and future generations of electing the first female multiracial vice president? The winners this year all attend Scholars Academy in Horry County, though each are from different base high schools, including St. James, Conway, and Socastee. We are delighted to present top honors of a $1,000 scholarship to Alyssa Paquette and 2 honorable mentions receiving $100 gift cards to Sasha Bronovitskiy and Fallon Tomlin. These 3 exceptional young women will also receive complimentary memberships in the Democratic Women's Council of Horry County. We were fortunate to have them join our monthly Zoom meeting in May to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Paquette. I attend the Scholars Academy and my base high school is St. James High. I plan to attend Springfield College in Massachusetts for sports biology, and I plan to minor in psychology. I also am a part of the early acceptance program, Accelerated, so in 3 years at Springfield College, I have a reserved seat at Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. What motivated me to write this essay was the prompt really spoke to me. I know when I watched the inauguration, I had a couple tears fall. I had this moment where I felt kind of a weight come off my chest. I felt kind of like I felt hope. That was truly what I felt. I felt hope and I felt motivated. With Kamala being the first female vice president, also being a person of color, it is so remarkable and she stands for so much. So that alone spoke to me. What also motivated me to write this essay was some self-reflection upon how I felt in our society, as well as all the comments and feelings I've heard of classmates and friends around me. Something I really took into account was how my younger sister felt. She is in middle school at the moment, and she's surrounded by people starting to form their own opinions and starting to form their own ideals, and maybe not being the most fluent, but they're still making racist remarks and crude remarks, and she stands up for minorities. She stands up for herself, and she definitely inspired this essay. What I have learned is that the world is very complex, and change doesn't come overnight. And not one person can do it alone. Of course, one person can make an impact, but something bigger needs to happen to create long-lasting and impactful change. And I believe that it is time. I've been thinking this forever, but it is finally time for change to happen and compassion to come through.
Hello, my name is Sasha Bronovitskiy, and I'm currently a senior at the Scholars Academy. This fall, I'll be attending the Georgia Institute of Technology, where I will be majoring in chemical engineering and minoring in computer science. My motivations for writing this essay were fairly straightforward, and there was one that kind of stuck out to me in particular, and that was introspection. I wanted to articulate exactly what Kamala Harris's election means to me and how I believe it will impact future generations. I hadn't really thought about this topic in any complex capacity before, and I figured this essay was kind of the ideal place to define and collect the thoughts I'd been having about it. And I'm very happy I did just that. I also wanted to explore the meaning that Vice President Harris's election held for my peers in order to see if my perspectives on how it will impact future generations were even valid to begin with. I figured, since we are the future generation at this time, we must have some good insight on it. After a brief survey, I discovered a common theme, and that was empathy. That is precisely what I learned from writing this essay, that the purpose of government is much more simple than it's made out to be. All I really demand from my government representatives is empathy, and I believe a lot of other people feel the same way I do. It's really not an unreasonable demand. I want my government to advocate for my peers and I, something the government can only do if it genuinely relates to our struggles. I just want our government to relate to us, to share experiences with us, and to channel the perspectives which result from those experiences into legislation that not only upholds our rights, but actively promotes our ambitions. Legislation that gives us the mobility to live the fruitful life we want for ourselves. I believe that is the true foundation of democracy. It is an incredible privilege to be recognized by the Democratic Women's Council of Horry County here today, and I truly had a blast writing this essay. Thank you for allowing me to introduce myself.
Hi, my name is Fallon Tomlin, and I am a senior at the Scholars Academy. After graduation, I will be attending the Honors College at the University of South Carolina, where I will be double majoring in biology and mathematics on a pre-dental track. After that, I plan on going to dental school with the ultimate goal of eventually becoming an orthodontist. So, as a young female, I think that it is vital that our society recognize and rectify the disparities that still exist within our political system. During the 2020 election, traditionally underrepresented groups such as women and African Americans used their political voices in unprecedented numbers. The result has given this country its first multiracial female vice president. And so a new standard was set in 2020. My motivation for writing this essay was simple. I am proud to be part of such a historical event. We are changing a political system that has been in place for over 200 years. My generation and future generations will benefit from this new and better version of democracy. Now, in terms of what I have learned, writing this essay and researching historical examples of strong female leaders has really highlighted the significance of last year's election. With a multiracial female in office, I have learned and personally experienced the empowerment felt by women and minorities and their now stronger than ever demands for equality. Minorities and women are becoming more and more resistant to prejudice, and this is all caused by one woman, Kamala Harris. I have also learned the attitudes and the attributes of strong female leaders, such as Kamala Harris. Determination and perseverance are two of these attributes, and I've learned that these are really essential when implementing long-lasting change. Thank you so much for choosing me as an honorable mention. Have a great day.
The essay entries are anonymously submitted to our judging panel, who review the essays based on content and clarity. A special thanks to our judges, Joan Furlong, Davida Fouché, and Sarah Grossbauer, who took on a difficult task given the quality of essays we received. Because of the pandemic, we did not solicit regular advertising for our booklet, but the following three sponsors stepped up with their usual enthusiasm and commitment. Special thanks to Tommy Britton of Britton Law Firm, Rick Elliott of Elliott Realty, and Farrell Furr Jr. of Furr and Henshaw. We will be seeking everyone's support next year as we get back to normal after a year of pandemic mode. We rely on DWC memberships, Democratic clubs, local businesses, and organizations to help us fund this annual project. We hope to fund several scholarships next year. The three selected essays are featured in a booklet available electronically and in limited supplies in print. The URL to the electronic booklet is provided below. Take a look at the future of our country. I think you will feel optimistic. I know I do.